evening, everybody. The time is 6:01. We're going to call the meeting of the City of Twinsburg Special Committee for Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion to order. We'll start with a roll call. Emmanuel Akbovi, Crystal Davis, Akil Hamid, Lavelle Payne Brown here, Andrea Stone, Jeffrey Tyus,
Here.
Sam Scafidi,
Here.
Bill, why don't I have your last name on here? Fury. Just Bill. Bill, are you
I
here?
got a sign I could love. Just say, I'm here, yes.
Yes, you're here. Karen. Daisy.
Present.
Matt.
Here.
Larney. Jeremy.
Here.
Kelly. Shannon. Jess.
Here.
All right, I believe that is the current composition of our committee. Okay, seeing as we have no audience, I will not call for audience participation at this time. So the time is now 6:02. We will adjourn for subcommittee breakout sessions to rejoin as a full committee no later than 7 p.m. We are adjourned. That was very loud, sorry.
But definitely earlier than 7.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We should probably change that time now that I think about it. I'll
Yeah.
bring that up in new business.
So,
Uh,
Jeff, you want to go in the back, or do you want us to stay
Yeah.
out here? How do you want to do this? Chief, are you going with us?
Yes.
Roll with you.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wait, we don't have chairs for,
Yeah,
oh, no, you chair community, so we've got community. Is anybody else here from HR? Just me. Just you? Well, you can be a committee leader once.
Yeah. Pick your committee that you'd like to be with.
Got that background, right?
We can always.
Are we going in the back now?
Wait, are you? Yes. What are you doing?
All right.
This one?
Best friend.
Okay,
All
yeah,
right.
okay, that's good. That's good.
We can probably stay here then.
Where are we
Yeah,
going?
we sit here.
Right?
We
Karen,
Yeah.
Right, Karen. In HR.
You guys gonna stay? Karen, are you on our committee?
No, I'm in the HR. I'm the only person here from HR.
You're the HR director tonight.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Well, then I'll come over there.
I think you were with us the last time.
Wasn't I as well?
Yeah,
I'm on
and
the
Cindy.
committee.
Okay, all right.
Come
Who-
on, for it.
But no, you know what it's like, you meet, I forget you were on it, and, did you wanna grab
Yeah, grab
a
a
chair
chair.
and?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
grab a
can
chair
move
and
over
come
if you
around
want to
behind
come
you
around
guys.
this
Yeah,
way.
how's that?
That way you don't have to be all the way at the end.
Okay, I can't find my phone. I hope I left it in the car.
I almost didn't make it. I got home and I sat in the chair. I fell asleep. I don't know what, something woke me up at like 20 to 6. I thought, I better go wash my face and brush my teeth again. And, you know,
You had a rough week, Sam. You have.
last week was a rough week.
It's an exhausting week for you.
You know, I've been living on adrenaline. That's what I've been
Oh,
going
yeah.
on, you know, up until, you know, that was over.
Yeah.
So now I'm like starting to catch up on my regular sleep, you know, it's like,
So what happened? Did you put in your notice at the other place, or?
oh yeah, they know. I told them, I'm still waiting to hear from Matt, because I'm not sure when I'm getting sworn in here. I don't know if we have to.
Well, yeah, this is the real deal
This is the
now.
real
Oh,
deal.
the real deal.
It's
I don't know if I have to wait until the
right?
1st of December.
Yes, 1st of
It
December.
doesn't, the charter doesn't address the mayor, it only addresses council.
See, that's something we need to look into.
Yeah, so, you know, this is like, this has never happened before,
Mm-hmm.
what we just went through, you
Okay,
know, so,
special election for mayor.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do I automatically, shall I get sworn in and just, do I start now, or,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Do you have to give a certain amount of notice at your other job?
No, I mean, he was aware. I mean,
Yeah.
he told me I was gonna win all along.
Yeah.
So you better start looking then.
Yeah, right.
So, but, you know, I'm only part-time there, so even if it runs over, I could go there in the morning, because those guys, I start them up at 7:30 in the morning. I can get them started, and I can be here by 9 and then work a full day.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
So, yeah,
Right.
yeah, it'll work out.
You know, Sam, you're really good at what you do, you know, being in leadership. And if that's what you want to do, then do it. You know,
What?
go to Glen Willow, you know.
Oh, no, I don't want to do both.
Oh, you don't want to
Nah.
do both? Not from
Give
7
him a
till
break.
9? But you know,
It's
see, I know
exhausting.
what I would do. I would go, because I like
could do
Glen
it.
Willow.
I could do it, but you know, then it gets to, you know, it's like, I got obligations there, and my obligations are
Sam,
here.
can I
Yeah,
tell
right
you,
here.
you earn this? Just do
Yeah,
it,
you
do
do
it,
it.
and do this exclusively.
Yeah,
and
I
do it well.
am. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
plan to do. I really do. Yeah, I wanna.
It's not like you're interim
Congratulations.
mayor
Thank
anymore.
you. Thank
You're
you.
not
Yeah.
interim anymore, you're the
Yeah.
real deal,
Yep.
so.
Yep.
it's-
People have spoken.
They have.
Yeah, they have.
Loud and clear.
Karen has
Yes,
spoken.
yes,
Wow.
yes,
I was like,
and
wow.
overwhelmingly, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he kicks some
Yeah.
serious
But it's
butt.
an easy decision when I get to get, you know, when I get to be in these meetings and I get to know you really well. I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah.
Easy decision.
Well,
Yeah.
I tell people that you only really have one choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
That's how I felt too.
Right.
Five
Really.
of us running, but
See, all that worrying for nothing.
I know.
All that.
Dang.
I know.
Yeah, got a few more gray
but
hairs.
that's good though, because that means he's humble and
Yeah,
that's good.
it does, but I look at it, you know, there's a lot of crazy people out there too, and you never know what they're gonna say or do or this or that.
I mean, I think a lot of people just didn't even know who to vote for. Like most of the people I know are just like, well, you're up there. Who should I vote for? Like they just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they did,
So,
yeah.
My
and I was
friends
just like,
love
well,
me.
this is who I know
Yeah.
and who I'm doing.
And-
so.
And
Me
all
too.
except Mark V, who voted for me, right in.
Uh-huh.
He's like, Karen Labby for mayor, I wrote you in. Whether or not he did, I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
you got more
he's
votes than
funny.
me. So.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah, I have to tell you, I saw Sam, I was at Giant Eagle, and I saw Sam, and I bought these I was looking at these bunches of flowers, because I go there every week and I buy myself flowers. So I had these flowers, I don't know what they were called, yellow flowers,
They're
gorgeous
yellow.
flowers, yeah. And then I saw Sam, and I'm trying to put the yellow flowers behind my back. He goes, "What are you doing, Daisy?" Trying to embarrass me. I said, "Well, I bought these flowers for you," and I said, and he's looking like I have nowhere to put them. So guess what? I took them home.
She took 'em home.
I took them home.
Actually, I thought she was stealing them. She was like, I thought she was gonna walk out with them. I was like, where the
If
heck?
it was steak, mother's the word. You see, but flowers. It was so funny to see.
Wow.
yeah,
Anyway,
anyway, and then I had a nice call from Mike Turrell. a nice
oh,
check.
you
You?
didn't see me. Me too.
So did I.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
think he
So
called us
did I.
all, right?
She's coming to see me.
Come
Oh,
and
really?
see you. I need to know, and I needed to ask Shannon, who, I believe from that conversation he had with Mike Brown that that he was barred, that other people heard what he said. Is that true?
What Mike said
I think I
No,
heard it.
What Mike Turrell said.
to
You-
Mike Brown.
You heard?
Yeah, they heard
Yeah,
it loud
I
and
heard
clear. He was
I heard
screaming on the phone.
Because he said he didn't say it to me.
He can't
And
deny
and
it.
I'm like, I need to talk to some eyewitnesses.
Mhm.
Because
I think Matt heard it too.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it was
I
a
don't
while,
think
but
Matt
I
was
heard.
here.
Yeah, yeah. I
Wasn't he
think
here
Matt
yet?
was
No.
here. No.
No, I don't think so.
I
Then
heard it.
Maestros heard it. Because he came, I remember him saying he came running down the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
need, I need to, because I need, he said, I swear I didn't say it, and I'm like, well, I need to.
How are you today, guys?
Good, how are
Hey,
you?
how are you doing?
Am I late or am I too early?
No, we're in our little
We're in
breakout
our
committees. There's some
breakouts,
people
yeah.
in the back, we have little breakout committees.
Okay.
So if you want to
Come
come
sit
and
with us.
listen to ours, come on up. Come on.
Yeah, I was coming to the other meeting
Yeah.
to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like 5 minutes later, so I was.
Yeah, no, we've gone through, roll call, audience participation.
Yeah.
I guess we should talk about our
Yeah.
outreach.
Why don't you get a chair
Right.
and pull it over and.
Thank you.
Yeah, grab a chair. Come on over. I'll snuggle
Yeah.
up next to
Yeah.
Daisy.
I don't think, have we met Chair?
No, I'm Jess Sumarak.
Nice to
I'm
meet you.
one of the members.
Nice.
Sir,
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, how was your week?
It was much better. My
Nice.
weekend was even better.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
I
you
got
get
to
be-
relax and do what I wanted to do. Yeah,
Yes.
turned out very nice.
Yeah. I'm Daisy Walker.
I'm sorry, we never met before at
Oh,
the.
I'm sorry, I thought you met Daisy.
No, yeah, I saw you, but we just
Yeah.
didn't get introduced. My name is Sharon. Yeah.
Nice
He
to
lives in
meet you.
Corpus
Nice to meet you too.
Oh, okay.
He and his wife were at Sam's party last week.
They're at the party list.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think
They wanna
She
get
was at the
more
bar
involved.
drinking.
Oh, and guess what I want to
She doesn't drink.
I didn't even get invited to this party, so
You were, you know what? I'm
see
sorry.
how it is.
I don't know what to say.
Well, you know, when you have a lot of friends, you kind of forget.
Not even. Not
He,
even.
he
I'm just
didn't
that
check his list off.
It was just to watch the numbers and.
Yeah, it was just, yeah. Watch the results come in. And boy, did they come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so who's chairman of this little subcommittee?
That's me.
That's
Yes.
Yep.
you. Okay, you're on.
All right, so let's talk about how did anybody go to the fire and police event? And how
I
did
did.
that go? Because I was not able to be a part of that because I had a Girl Scout
couldn't make
meeting.
it.
I went, I
Can
did
you-
6 to 8. I think it went great.
Yeah.
I think
I
it
really did.
Really good.
Yeah,
I mean, for one, it was very well attended. It was a
Mhm.
beautiful night. It started raining at the very end when people were closing up. There were a lot of kids. They were coming up for stickers. There were a lot of, I mean, there wasn't a lot of questions. I didn't get any questions about Jedi, did you?
No, because,
Yeah.
you know, they're really there to have, you know, it's really a lot for the kids.
Yeah,
it's
Parents bring the
exposure,
kids
right.
because
Yeah.
there's so many things to do there.
Yeah.
You know, for them. So they really don't want to talk business, but it was nice that, you know, that we had the booth there and they were passing out, you know.
Stickers,
I got a
which were
sticker
very,
and-
you know, like about diversity stickers, and every kid won.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do we feel like it was worth our presence being there at an event
I do.
like that in our community?
I do.
Okay.
I do, because you know, you're all standing, Larnie was there with us, me, Crystal, I mean, it was, you know, yeah, I do, I
I
think
think
it was,
Bill stood there too a little bit, didn't he?
he was there before me, yeah,
Was he?
yeah.
Yeah. So it was nice. It was just nice to, I think the presence was there, which was nice. Whether everybody understood exactly what it was, you know, if you're just walking through, you may not have known what it was about. I don't know.
I don't know if they took the time to read the, you know, that we had the,
That school
TV.
thing running.
slide
yeah.
going?
yeah, the slide going. I almost think it was too much information for people to absorb.
At that kind of event, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It should have maybe just said Jedi and it said, you know, what it
What
meant,
it
and that's
stands
it.
for.
And that's it. But I think, you know, maybe once the kids got home, they're like, oh, where'd you get that sticker from? And it was like about diversity and acceptance and whatever. So they were. I think it was worth it.
So maybe like the next time we do an event like that, slides could be more of have a clearer, like, more of a marketing kind of impact. You know, like when you're walking by, you
Exactly.
can just see some words about diversity and things
Right.
like that, just
Yeah.
to get our focus across
Right.
versus the amount of information.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I also think we should have some kind of T-shirt or something that identifies us, or whether it be a T-shirt or a button or something
Yeah.
that, you know, lets people know, you know, oh, these people are together and why are they together?
Mm-hmm.
Just to
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea about the t-shirts.
Oh,
Okay.
no, take over.
Yeah, the
I
mayor's
think
so
at the
used-
last meeting, I think Shannon might have mentioned, I asked her because I wasn't able to be here, about the new site that we launched, the city launched, Together Twinsburg.
Has it been launched and approved
Yes,
and
it
everything?
has.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
it started, you didn't receive anything on that?
Nope.
You should have.
I did not.
But we're gonna have a section on the Jedi as well there that people can go to and that they could
hello.
look at and see what's going on and what the Jedi's all about. And, you know, so it gives them an opportunity and people are able to communicate, you know, with us, with City Hall, rather than, hi, sir.
Are you?
Hi, we're just we're having little breakout groups right now, so there's some folks in the back, so we'll come together and reconvene. You know, and then, yeah, so I don't want you to think that
Awesome.
you're here for no reason.
Is the Furies team back here?
Yes.
Yeah, they're in the
yes.
back. You want to go back there?
How do I get tickets?
Right through here. So, you know, it'll give us an opportunity to there show what the Jedi's all about and what the reason for the committee is for, and, you know, give people an idea, and then they could, you know, bring their comments in. But opposed to having it on Facebook where you get, all of a sudden you start getting people, you know, that are, you got people that are for and people that are against, and they start, you know, like arguing with one another.
Yeah.
That's not what this site's all about, because we're gonna control, you know, what goes on there and what goes out and what comes in. So anything that's not, you know, worth putting out there, we're not gonna put out there. You
So
know?
what's the process for updating the website and getting the things that we want on there?
That will have to go through either Mark or Shannon,
Okay.
because they're the administrators of the site.
They are, okay.
Yeah. So if you had any thoughts or ideas, you know, you can get a hold of them, and I'll tell them tomorrow that, you know, you may be getting a hold of them for that purpose.
Yes, because I had some updates that needed to be made to the current website
Okay.
page, but they had not been made yet, and I assumed that was because you guys were launching this site. So what was the point of making the updates for the old one? However, I think we're going to keep both, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're still keeping the My Twinsburg too.
Okay, good.
So if you go to My Twinsburg, that's like you can link over to Together Twinsburg.
Okay, then the updates need to be made to the old one as well. There's some names misspelled and things like that
Okay.
that need to be updated. So I'd already emailed Mark, but I hadn't had a response yet. I'm sure he's very busy though. So
Yeah, he's got that whole website.
yeah, he's got a lot going on. So, but I do want to email him about the things that I sent that email out about the updates that I wanted to make to the website that also should go on to the Together Twinsburg. Actually, Together Twinsburg will be a better platform, I think, for some of the things that we can add, like educational opportunities, YouTube links that correlate with a diversity calendar, things like that.
I think because it'll be something that people are going to go to, hopefully, you know, it's going to catch on. They'll see what's going on in the community and what the projects that are going on, and they're going to see projects as they're being built, you know, as it starts out and as it, you know, starts to ramp up. And so they, you know, when they go there, there's other reasons for them to go there rather than just, you know, one particular reason. So they'll go there to look at a variety of things, and the Jedi will be there as well.
So how was the community told about this? Because I didn't get any email or anything about the
They
fact
sent
that
out
it
an
was
email
launched.
blast to, I guess, who's ever on our, like, do you get the e-newsletter or anything? You do?
Yeah.
You should have gotten it then. You
I'll
should.
maybe I'll look through my emails and see if maybe it went
Yeah,
to
I
junk or
think it
something,
went, yeah.
because
Yeah, check that out because
Okay.
Maybe it just said Twinsburg News and it was in there, maybe?
I think
I'll
it
check my
launched
email.
on Monday the 7th,
Right.
I
I'm gonna say
think.
it just
Monday
said
the 7th.
Twinsburg News and like a Twinsburg News.
Yeah.
letter.
Do you send it out, our newsletters, does it go to the residents too? It goes to everybody or just?
Everybody that
Those
signed
who
up.
signed up for
Okay,
it.
Mhm.
well, I have to call, Bozeman.
Oh,
I have to call her, well, I'll email her and tell her to sign up because, you know, she's blasting my name like everything.
oh, boy, yeah.
you guys are closer to Mark than me, so if you have anything to add, you're closer then you can have him do it immediately. I have to do it through email from a distance.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, yeah.
Well, you're welcome to call him too.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to, yeah.
I have his card, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's no problem. So, I mean, I think that that's gonna, hopefully that's gonna help and get awareness out there of what Jedi's all about.
Yeah.
And that the committee's here and, you know, and the diversity side of things.
So we had another event that Shannon sent out an email for asking if anyone would sign up for it. I don't remember what that event was. Was that in the square? That was.
I think that was the community, the truck thing up at the community center
That,
with Jen and stuff.
yeah, that was the Fall Fest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fall Fest.
That's what
Yes.
I'm talking about, it was up here. Yeah.
Did anybody end up signing up for that? Do we know?
That I don't know.
No, I did not. I was out of town that weekend.
I was sick at the time, so I
Yeah.
couldn't go, unfortunately.
I'm
Well,
sure
did we even have a
somebody-
booth there?
I do not know.
She was
if we
there,
ended up
yeah.
having anything.
I'm not
'cause
sure
it was
that
kind of
we
last
did.
minute.
I wasn't there long. I went there and I walked through the whole thing. And then I left.
Maybe if no one signed up, she didn't do a booth or anything.
Yeah, I don't recall there being one.
Because she said there was leftover stickers and stuff, and if someone wanted to sign up, then
That they could go
they
there.
could go there and
You're
pass
right.
those things out.
Mhm.
So, and
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if we had done that or not. Okay, so it was just the police and fire event that we ended up attending.
Mhm.
But that's good. That's our first ever event.
Yeah.
As a committee, I mean, that's a big deal.
Mhm.
Right.
I was
I
pretty
know, right?
impressive about that.
Yeah. About a week ago, I was at the Twinsburg Library, and the Environmental Commission put on a great seminar. Chuck Panacci was there, and David Post, and a few other, local people besides the group. And it held about maybe 25, 30 people. It was really interesting. And I thought about, if we could rent a room out at the library and just invite people, and the room held about maybe 30, 35 people. It was a nice group of people, and it was well organized. So, maybe we could start there inside, because a lot of people do go to the library.
So get on like the program calendar that they send
Yes,
out.
yes.
That's a good idea. I have I've emailed them to try to figure out the best contact person,
Uh-huh.
and the person who does the event planning is going on maternity leave, so there's kind of like a passing of
Yeah.
the duties at the moment.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to figure out who that is the best contact at the moment.
Yeah. But the library, it's a great resource, number one, because people go there.
Yes.
And they just walk around, and they see a group of people, they just join in, and it was really great. I'll volunteer for that if we're gonna have something at the library. And it was only, I think, 30 minutes.
That's a good idea.
It was just great.
Yeah.
It was
That's a
so
good
simple.
introduction to the community, and
Mhm.
it'll be on the
And that's
calendar.
good.
So
It'll
that'll
be on the
really-
library calendar
Yeah, that'll be
also.
tell the whole community
Yeah.
that we exist right off the
Yes,
bat. Yeah, that's a
right.
good idea.
Right,
Mhm.
and then the library sends out, I get emails, and then they also send out cards, to let you know what's going on, like.
Well, that's that big card.
Yep, that's what I get every
Yes.
every season or whatever.
Right. So,
Yeah, that's another good habit.
yeah, it is.
That's free marketing.
Yeah, it is.
That's even better than trying to partner with them on like book tables and stuff. I mean that.
Right, because you
I
can
like
get
that.
your own room.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great.
Then you really only have to speak for 15 minutes, and then the rest can be community interaction and questions. And,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. And they gave out flyers. So that's something maybe we could consider, flyers, a card, paperwork, whatever.
Yes.
To let them know what Jedi means, and just a synopsis of what it's all about, and just pass out cards to them.
And I can make the QR code go to the Together Twinsburg page, because that will help connect us with them as
Oh,
well.
nice.
It gives
Yeah.
them an opportunity to like put in their information and say they want to know more about us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that, do you agree the QR code should attach to the Together
Yeah,
Twinsburg
I
page
think
for
so.
Jedi?
That's
Okay.
a good idea.
I can get that done very easily. As soon as I get the link, I can make that up. So
Yeah. Sam, Susan or Suzanne and her mother's friend were there at the library.
Oh, were they?
For the environmental. Yeah, Sue Clark. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. That's what I said when I saw them. They go, "What are you doing here?" I go, "What are you doing here?"
Any thoughts or ideas about outreach? That's what this committee is about, community outreach. So,
I'm still processing, I'm just hearing, it's my first.
okay, I just want to make sure if you had anything to say, feel free to
No, of
jump in
course,
there.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course.
So, had you heard of the Jedi? What was the first hearing you had of the Jedi committee?
So in my last council meeting, someone brought up that issue about the translation. I think we discussed, right? Yeah.
Okay,
That's the
right.
only interaction,
Okay.
part of
That you
Yeah.
heard?
exists that it,
Mhm.
that there's something programmed like that and things like that.
Okay.
So, only that much I know, but, but yeah.
and I think the police group is focusing on the translations, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So the outreach is, what we're trying to do is outreach about what the committee is doing, or what's going on in the town, or pretty much all combined.
A little bit of both. So we're trying to connect with the community and get their viewpoints, their ideas on, what we should be doing, what we should be focusing on, as well as let the community know that we exist, that we are
Please know we're
here,
here,
and
yeah.
that we are committed to, the focus of the Jedi Committee, and making sure that the people in Twinsburg, everyone feels represented and that we are focusing on those factors.
Hmm.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You said it right. If anybody knows me, I'm a shopper. So I was shopping and I bought this dress, very beautiful dress, and I brought it home and I tried it on, and there was this little sticker on it, and it said, thank you for buying this dress because it's National Spanish Celebration. And I happened to look it up, and that celebration was like from September 15th through October 15th. Did anybody hear about Spanish celebration from September to October for 30 days? I've never heard of it either.
Never heard.
Yeah, me
But I have the tag still on the dress because I haven't worn it. And I thought about it. I'm going, that's something we could do, celebrate in September, October, or get together with them for next year. But how do we advertise or
Yeah, come on.
Well, I mean,
engage
like,
or?
I tried to get some people to share with Sam the Diwali celebration. I think, you know, there's a Indian community who has the big celebration, and I would like someone from there to be more interactive with Jedi. To so there's
Yes.
an Indian representative.
Mhm.
You know, because that's a big part of our community.
Right.
Mhm.
You said
And-
Corbett's Farm, there's a big percentage.
It is.
Oh, big percent,
families.
Corbett
It
Farm.
really
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
And
so,
we're trying to engage all
Everybody.
nationalities
And there's a
here.
lot of different events happening in other communities, like the Indian community that I was not even aware of. So my daughter actually made her new best friend is very enmeshed in the Indian community, and she does so many events that I didn't even know were a thing. And that, you know, she keeps inviting Charlie, so my family is going, and we're like, this is great. I wish we would have known any of these
I know.
existed before, but there's just no, you know, they're where I go, there's just not, they're not there, they're not, the flyers aren't there, I'm not
Right,
aware
right,
of them, you know?
right,
So if there's a
right.
way we could find a, you know, where we're crossing paths more often, where we can
know.
actually know that these exist.
So
Yeah.
I'll say the Twinsburg, the Corbett athletes, right? Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
very active on our Corbett page. Very
on the
active.
Corbett page.
Yeah, we
okay.
have a,
Is Greg or,
yeah, Greg is in there too.
Greg is on the Corbett page.
Yeah, Corbett page. So we have this, it's closed. I like this, I think it's closed. So I think you better, I think Greg is an admin of that too, I believe.
Oh, really?
Facebook?
Of Corbett Farm page, yeah.
Okay.
We have,
Oh, okay.
and I think he's, if I'm not wrong, he's an admin, right? It's a closed group, so only the residents goes in there, but they're very active.
Uh-huh.
If anything happen, everybody jumps on it,
Okay.
you know, and then everybody's very responsive to any smallest incident or biggest incident, they'll put it on. If someone sees something drop, they'll like, hey, you know, I found this on the street, and the next thing you know, it's like everybody, you know, like 10 comments saying, oh, it's not mine. Oh, I also saw it. Oh, I let my daughter know. I think it's my neighbor. Everybody's just involved in it for smallest thing, you know. These days it's a fox, apparently. I gotta call it.
Yeah, I read about that on Facebook.
I forget. That reminds me. These days about
So
fox.
does the Indian community say, hey, like if you hear fireworks tonight, it's Diwali, you know, is there awareness like that posted on the?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We also had, you know, like our neighbors, some of them who bought tons of, because of the kids, like, you know, who bought a ton of fireworks. They put it on there saying, hey, you know, guys, it's our new year. We celebrate by putting lights outside and, you know, fireworks, and we plan to do it between 8 and 9. So if anybody has any issues or trouble, please let us know. And if you guys want us to switch time, I know, and, you know, timings or anything, if it's too late, we'll be open for suggestions. You know, we just want our kids to blend the cultures and things like that.
Right.
You know, and everybody said yes, you know, thank you. The other people, Indians said, oh, thank you, you know, I meant to do it, but I thought it's fine. And, you know, people said, oh, great, thank you, Happy New Year, and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Facebook groups, I'm sure Ethan Greens also has it. I'm sure other, you know, the community also has it. You know, I think, and they're very active because I feel like they feel a need of because of the safety concerns. And I think that's what's motivated them to stay connected. They want to know if something goes wrong, you know, in my community, I want to be prepared, things like that. And that's why they are very active on it, you know. So I think if we find one person, an admin at least from these communities, and, you know, just reach out to them and send them material saying, hey, this is, you know, type the message already, so all they have to do is just copy paste it, I guess.
That's a great idea.
You know?
Thank you.
Maybe if you have a flyer, be like, hey, this is a flyer, this is the thing, you don't gotta do anything, just copy paste it, you know?
Right, right.
And help us out.
That's good.
And I'm sure those guys who are admins, I hope they're at least motivated. I know Greg is always gonna be there, I just don't know about other communities.
Right.
You know, motivated to let people know that, hey, you know, township want us to do this, or, you know, just wanna pass them a message kind of thing.
Mhm.
You know, what's in the community, you know, when we go out, I'm sorry, bad with names, after the water tank, then, you know, right before the
rec center.
railroad, right before the railroad on 91, there's a new community on the left.
Oh, those
Before
senior
the-
housing?
No, before the senior housing, at the intersection, right before we get to the library. Brand new community on the left.
No idea the name of it
So-
though. Sorry.
Down here?
Yeah, so right before the railroad, there's a construction company, right?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You
you're
mean
talking
on
about 91.
Yeah, and that
That's
intersection.
That's a senior, that's a over 55, right?
No,
No,
you're talking
Oh,
that
you're
street.
talking the one
Yeah,
right
One
at the,
street, yeah,
One
there's
street.
a lot,
There's-
where the
Those-
Victorian,
Yeah.
where Victorian
right across from
comes out?
Victorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I walked that street. There
Yeah.
is-
And then you go
yes.
in there, it's actually, I wouldn't say big, but it's a good amount of,
Right, I've
Yes, it
been in
is.
there,
you know,
yeah.
people, houses in there. And what they did was, I didn't know how well they celebrated Diwali, but I know it's big in community in there too. They celebrated Holi last year. Holi is the colors of rum. I don't know if you guys know it. They put the powder of different colors on each other's face and blast some music and dance. So what they did was they put a music system, put it in a car, opened the boot trunk, and then everybody just pretty much went from that intersection to all the way, I guess, to the end of the community. They all danced and threw color at each other, and then everybody
fun.
was there. The whole
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, I like
that, and then with an explanation of what it means, so
Yeah.
people looking on who don't know, and, you know, that, I think an explanation is so necessary and
Yes.
welcome, because, you
And-
know, until, I don't think remember last year when they had that big Diwali celebration down, I mean, and the fireworks they put on at, Aaron and Moses
The golf course.
were phenomenal. They were phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, the best I've ever
Yeah.
seen, I think.
Has there been any more conversation about expanding the Jedi committee to get more representatives from the community?
There hasn't been any.
Because
no.
there talked about it during my
we
interview for
talked
it, but-
about it in the interviews
Yeah.
last year. And at the time, I was looking, I called several of my Indian friends to get an Indian presence.
Yeah.
But we just couldn't find anyone to, you know, get involved. That's why when I
Yeah.
met him last week.
No, yeah.
Come on,
Come on now.
please, you know, I
No, I
mean,
think it's very, very good, you know, for like Diwali or Holi, all these, people love it, people wants to do it,
right.
but I guess they're too awkward to ask people, you know, because that celebration when I saw it was not just Indian, everybody was there.
Right,
Everybody.
right.
They all
you know?
came and joined
They
it.
If I
all
would've been
came
invited,
and
I would've gone.
joined.
Right.
You know?
Well,
We
and
can-
I
Sounds like
tell you by
fun.
experience, remember I was telling you,
Yeah.
I went to that Indian wedding, well, all of my girlfriends, her daughter married an Indian boy, all of my girlfriends went out and bought an Indian outfit just to for the first ceremony, just so we feel involved and we feel
Oh,
like we're,
how are you?
you know, celebrating correctly,
Yeah.
and it was fun. It was, you know, and then you learn this, you know, the wedding was just beautiful in itself with so much meeting and
You know what we can do? Whenever the next time there's a celebration like that, or festival, we can organize it. Let's say, take a small parking lot of the rec center.
Yeah.
You know, like the back section, you know, there's a little rectangle.
Uh-huh.
We can just, entertain the event at that place, because majority of these are just socializing.
Right,
You know, and the
absolutely.
kids, and then
Mhm.
colors or things
Uh-huh,
like that.
uh-huh.
And we can just tell everybody, like, hey, mayor's coming, committee's coming.
Right,
we
well, I was
wanna
gonna say,
organize it.
invite council.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
Invite us,
Yeah.
and then we can come and then we talk
We
about
talk,
it
you know,
here,
we
and,
keep a session in the beginning, let everybody introduce each other, people know
Yeah.
that, hey, city did this. Because
Okay.
from what I believe, if we ever do that, I guarantee you, Solon, Hudson, everybody will pick up
Uh-huh.
from the next year.
right.
Uh-huh,
Because that word's gonna get out there like a fire.
Right.
And they're gonna be like, oh, Twinsburg arranged the
Yes.
Holy Festival?
Right.
Outdoor in the public? Oh, Twinsburg had a
That's-
Diwali
Yeah,
fireworks?
right.
So no, we don't have to do anything.
Right.
You know, it's like, hey, bring your own colors, and which they'll be very happy because it's,
Uh-huh.
you know, it's just
Well,
couple
it's a
bucks.
share, right?
You know,
Yeah.
it's a share, and you know, and then people will just, you know, we'll just have to. As a me, I can say, okay, it's not a big deal for me to get a DJ and be like, hey, bring your own speakers and just have that for 2 hours event from 5 to 7 or something like that.
Right.
Blast the music, let people do it, whatever they
Yeah.
want to do it in that closed rectangle. You know, and the committee speaks in the beginning for 15, 20 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and then we out, let them do whatever they want to do it. Maybe you can do that for Diwali, you know, have one section for firework in the middle of the high school parking lot, saying, hey, this is closed, do whatever you want to do, because our fireworks are not like the one that goes up.
Uh-huh.
Those are too expensive, I think, for people. What they do is this, the you know, the coloring flowers
Yeah.
thing, like small things, which is not, I don't think it's a danger to like housing or anything nearby. It's just gonna make a noise probably, or,
Right.
you know, do that kind of thing. So we can say, hey, you know, 2 hours Diwali celebration, no need to do it at home, come out, you know, the parking lot, bring your own sweets, and they would love it. Everybody will love it, you know. And
Yeah.
I think this way Corbett's connects with Ethan Green, Ethan Green connects with the other community, and, you know, before the event starts, you know, the councilmen and the mayor, everybody's, you know, we discuss it, let them know, hey, you know, we want you to do this, that, and we need your help, or, you know, presence, and this will help you guys.
Right.
Would this be like a spring, summer, fall event?
It's a fall.
It's a fall event?
So-
It was just passed.
Oh,
Yeah, so these dates, it's not, unfortunately, which is also, to me, it's annoying growing up also, it's like, there's no certain dates fixed in it, like, you know how we have Thanksgiving on 25th, and, you know,
like a fall
these
event.
ones goes by, I guess, astrology dates and things like that, which I don't even know
Yeah.
how this works, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I just Google, they say, hey, when's the 23rd Diwali? And then they usually fall between October and first week of November kind of
Oh,
range.
okay.
So,
Still good weather.
yeah, the weather's, I would say, pretty decent. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's bad, you know, from at least last 3-4 years that I remember.
Right.
It's pretty decent. And we don't need to do it after 8 o'clock, you know, we can do it like 5 to, you know, like, well, maybe 4 to 6 worst case scenario, you know. And to be honest with you, it doesn't even have to be on that date. Even if we do it on the weekend, people will still love it, you know. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, first one before Diwali, maybe after Diwali, you know, or Holi, or, you know, okay, things like that. I think it'll be very interesting, and I think
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
people will
it
follow
is.
us,
It is.
township will follow us.
Right.
Do you have like special food items at this Diwali?
Yeah, I
Or-
mean, it's just like, you know, Christmas, food, just, you know, anything you
Well,
would
that's
like.
what I was
you know.
thinking. I would still like, I think we talked about this, but I would still like to see us in the summertime do
International Food
like a
Festival.
food.
Yeah.
Yes, we absolutely
Because
should do
this
that.
way, everybody's together. It's like everybody, you know,
Right.
everybody,
In the
it
squares,
includes
yes.
everybody. Let's say in
Yeah.
the square, we
Okay.
did something down there, and everybody like your foods, your foods, your foods.
Or we could just ask for vendors. It's a business.
Yeah,
The
I
city
mean,
will
if-
raise money too from it, and we don't have to worry about spending money when it
Yeah.
comes in. If they have license, whatever city requires, but
Vendors or even
Like a
food
food
trucks. I don't know if
truck.
there's
Yeah,
food
yeah.
trucks
yeah,
yet.
the food truck
Yeah.
You know,
vendor.
A
have
lot of
food
local
trucks there.
restaurants
Yeah.
will set
Yeah,
up
like,
booths
so
as
it
well
would be
to
like an
market.
international, you know, food,
Mhm.
you know, thing and event, and everybody gets together, so we're all together. And it's not, because it's not just segregated, you know,
Yeah,
by,
Right.
by one group or another.
Didn't we do that years ago on the square
There was something
with
on the
Kathy
square.
Pocock? Wasn't that a food?
Yeah,
Because
that-
Wayne Dawson was there.
Yeah, that
It was like a
another-
taste of Twinsburg only,
Taste
though.
of Twinsburg.
Yeah.
Taste
That
of
was
Twinsburg.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
on
it
the
wasn't,
square.
it wasn't based on
Yeah, no.
this.
It wasn't. It
No,
was
no,
just
it
some
was just-
local Twinsburg restaurants
right,
specifically.
right,
It wasn't.
right.
It wasn't very broad, you know.
Right.
For
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and this definitely wasn't the focus.
I really
Right.
like that. I think that would bring people out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And in the
things for
summer,
kids
if you have a
there.
nice summer, you know,
Summertime.
there are certain communities that do like First Fridays. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
Mm-mm.
Like
Yep.
Dublin, I know does it. Powell does it. And it's like the first Friday they do something to involve the community every month. Medina does it.
And it's
That's nice
outside
because
again.
that's consistency as well. So we'd be
Yeah.
able to get people putting that on their schedule, you know,
That's
looking
right, so
for it.
you know when to expect.
Yes.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And people love food,
Yeah.
especially
They do.
It's
Oh, yeah.
like,
I love food.
I'd like to try some of your food.
Me
you
too.
know, you know.
A couple years ago at a church, I
Everybody
believe it was
eats
held,
right.
there was an Indian food festival, and it was so popular that it sold out. Like my family went there, we couldn't even get
Right.
food because the lines were so long.
Yeah, there are only
Like
few
spaghetti
restaurants that
and
really
meatballs.
people like or famous, like good ones. We can, I know personally most of them, and the owners and things like that. And I can reach them out saying, hey, we're gonna get you food. Bring appetizers, just hand foods.
Yeah.
There's one in Hudson, Jaipur Junction is there. There's one in downtown called Bombay Restaurant. There's one in Tradesboro called Chupri, and then we can ask the Chula guy from this where's Chula? It's in Beechwood. Chula is in Beechwood. We can have them come in. 4 or 5 vendors are very well known. People love their food, and give they're like, hey, you sell your food, we okay?
Right.
We get both things done.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
It's a
I
very
like
good.
that.
We have one right in Twinsburg, right next to, or is it Solon? It's Solon. Planet Fitness, right next in that little strip.
Yeah,
We're playing-
Sunny's.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Oh
my
my
neighbor.
gosh, that is the best food
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. Sunny's,
Yeah.
we have them call over.
Right.
And let's keep it diverse. Let's invite some Spanish food, Mexicans.
Yes, we want to try to bring in as much as possible. Yes.
Chinese.
Thai
We get everybody.
Restaurants
Some
love
hot
to do
dogs
that.
and,
So
what's that?
restaurants love to do that.
Yeah,
Have
because-
booths and represent their business.
Guys, they
and-
get to advertise their.
And the restaurant
Right.
community is suffering so much right now. I think it would be really good for them.
It would.
I really like that idea.
I
would
do.
like to do that.
I would love to do
We'd have to start scheduling, planning it as soon
Now.
as possible.
Yeah.
To be able to do it next summer.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that should be a
actually
huge
wonder,
focus.
and I know we've discussed having food trucks before, but if we had a day once a month to do a food truck and then centered it around different things.
The only thing
Like-
with food trucks is they tend to make you pay like an upfront cost for them to be present or guarantee that they'll have a certain amount of business.
Well, that's true.
Food
Yeah.
trucks are a little bit more difficult from a cost
Well, but if
perspective
you're
than a
coming from a
restaurant.
city standpoint, and if they want to get in,
Mm-hmm.
would you think they would waive that? I mean, I don't know.
We could ask. I mean,
Depends.
it doesn't hurt to negotiate.
So
I think the little stands are a little more personal.
Uh-huh.
Because you
I
get
agree
to
with
you
that.
get to meet the people too.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
That are otherwise you're looking up on this
Up at the
counter.
truck.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
up there and you're down here.
Right.
And they're just you're not seeing the food really come out.
And I think they'll benefit at it. I guess if I were the one who presented the pictures to them, I'd be like, listen, how many Twinsburg residents knows you're a restaurant in Hudson? Right. I know you're there, but I'm sure you'll meet 20 people who doesn't even know you exist out there.
Right.
It's 15 minutes from here. You're the closest restaurant. We're not paying you anything, but if you want to be part of the Twinsburg, and
Marketing thing for them.
Yeah, the market to the
Check it out,
Twinsburg community.
But Solon does in many events, like the fireworks, this, that.
Right,
They
right.
have a lot of food trucks out there.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure looking at that traffic, I doubt that Solon pays them. I think it's the other way around.
You know
Okay.
what? I actually know the head of rec.
Yeah. I think it's the other way
He lives in
around.
Twinsburg.
You know?
So I could call him and ask him
Yeah.
what the scoop was on
And we also have the Twins Day, right? Right.
Yes.
Do city pays them, or they pay the city to
that. They're
do
their own
business?
entity.
That's its own
It's their
corporation. That's
own
nothing. The city gets
entity.
nothing.
No, but do they pay that corporation, or they come because they want a business?
We don't pay them
Yeah.
anything.
No,
Yeah,
but
so
we do
same-
help them with stuff. I mean, it's like a partnership.
But they pay us then for
Yeah.
the services
Yeah.
that the police and fire service department, they pay us.
Yeah. So in the first couple events we do, we can say, hey, we're not charging. Let them see what they're doing. It's a trial for us. It's a trial for them. And we can see which wind's blowing. And if it goes successful, then we can say, hey, you need a special business license to have a vendorship in this event, and it's $100 fees, and you go get the license and you do it. Or maybe we have to end up doing another way around. It's like, okay, we'll pay $100. Come please. It's I'm sure the business owners, I'm pretty sure they'll be interested. Yeah. We wouldn't want that kind of exposure. Get those sales, but
Yeah, I think the first step is going to be like what you suggested, like contacting somebody in another community that's done it already.
Right.
Because I don't personally, I don't have the expertise to set up something like a food festival in a city.
Right.
So
An international food festival.
Yeah, if we can partner with someone who has that knowledge, then we can figure out what the steps are. We could do. And I really like the idea that you suggested about hosting different festivals like Holi or Diwali in a Twinsburg property. Because that really does send a message that we're hosting it, and the other communities, like you said.
They'll feel very welcome in the city. I'll be honest with you, they'll be very welcome. They will be shocked, and I have no doubt that other towns are gonna follow us or copy.
What I like is being the one to set the pace.
Yeah.
To set the standard. As, I think we've already set the standard as having a Jedi committee. And then just to have events to follow that.
Right, to follow,
Because
yeah.
people have already followed our lead with the Jedi committee or a similar committee.
Yeah.
So then
So it
to
is.
kick it up, then to kick it up with festivals and stuff like that. Because there's a huge Indian presence in Solon as well, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
And we'll make it, like the international kind of day event. So this way we get an excuse to invite like Pakistanis or Bangladeshis and,
Sure,
things
sure,
like that.
absolutely.
So the more people, the better for us.
Absolutely.
Now, David Post, he puts on, like his annual,
He
Jewish.
does the Hanukkah
He does the
celebration
Hanukkah.
during Hanukkah.
Yeah.
He's done that for several
For
years now.
years
They
now.
do it up at the senior center, and it's called Light the Night.
Yeah.
And it's, there's not only Jewish people, everybody goes, whoever wants to
everybody's
go.
invited.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Jewish.
based around that, and the kids make dreidels, and they serve potato pancakes and stuff like that, or latkes is what they call them. And they serve, that's their food, and the rabbi got involved now, so he's involved in that. They'll come there.
I went last year for the first time.
Yeah,
It was very
I've
lovely.
worked it for almost every year that we've had it. I've been a server there and stuff like that, so, I mean, it's a nice event.
It's a nice educational event, is what it,
Now, when is that coming up? Is that like the?
It's on my calendar.
Whenever
It's-
Hanukkah is
Yeah, it's
sometime in-
late, it's like
It's
December
coming soon.
20,
Yeah, it's coming soon.
20s, it's late
Yeah.
December this year.
It's right before Christmas, I know. It's
Right,
late.
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot of information. We're doing good here. I'm gonna
Yeah,
send
we
out,
are.
I'm gonna type all these up, all these notes that we're having this discussion about. I'll send it to all of us after the meeting.
Okay. If I don't want to step out of line here, but if you would get his email address and just send it to him too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just share it, so this
It's
way
the
he can.
21st
Do you have
of
a card or
December.
anything?
I don't have a
Okay.
card, but I can give you my email address.
Just the Hanukkah
Yeah, you
thing
were
is
here
the
for the
21st
conversation.
of
Yeah,
December.
you should have it.
Yeah.
6
And you
o'clock
had
at
some
the rec
ideas.
center this year.
At 21st?
The 21st, which is a Wednesday night.
What, December?
Yes, the Hanukkah.
Okay.
At the rec center?
6 o'clock.
You'll smell like grease when you leave it.
You only, that's
Cooking
because
all
you're
those
cooking.
latkes, they're all, they cook them in
Yeah.
a stove.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write your email address down for me. Sorry,
I
there's a
know
lot
you
of
can
papers
think it,
there.
I just want to bend anything.
Oh, you're fine. Just all my note pages.
Is there anything else that needs to be discussed?
I think that was the, I think we're good.
Yeah, we are.
The clock's 8.
It's
8 o'clock.
It needs to be changed.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah, well, we're using our time well. I didn't expect us to
Yeah.
have this much going on, so it's
I
good.
know, I didn't either.
It's a lot of good
That's good.
ideas.
Great idea.
We were chatting tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My
All right, I'll
my
keep you in the
email
loop.
is
And I'll,
non-existent.
hopefully we can work together and
Yes.
that'd be great.
Did you get my email about Kelly?
Your email?
Yeah.
Did you get mine?
I got yours, yeah, but did you get my reply to you? It was just to you.
Oh, no, I did
Oh,
not.
okay.
When did you send it? Later
Today,
this afternoon?
I don't know, sometime
Yeah.
today, yeah.
Did that come as a surprise?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Me too.
Thank you for coming tonight.
No,
I feel like you added a lot to the conversation,
Yeah, I
so.
think he adds a lot to
I
everything.
love it.
Yeah.
He's not,
Very
he's got a lot to give.
Yeah.
I love it actually. And I think it's very good. It's very, very nice.
We gotta get you on a board of commission too.
Yeah, that's right.
Those will be coming up.
So the Jedi is every 2 years. I mean, it's almost like, shouldn't it be intermittent? So everybody doesn't leave at the same time? Or other committees like that, or are other committees?
No, they're not, they don't, they're staggered.
Okay.
Everybody's staggered.
But Jedi is not, right?
We could change that.
We could change it, yeah.
Well, I just wondered, you know, if we have the opportunity to add somebody
Well,
who
I
would be
know.
of great value, you know.
Yeah. Especially since right now we're so new at you're reaching out to different people and deciding what communities need to be really represented here, that you never know when we're gonna find another person that is interested
Right.
in participating.
And I tried last year.
Architecture Review Board, the Board of Zoning Appeals. I mean, we have all these different committees that, the Capital Improvements Board, I'm not good for you. I don't know who your board representative is. But,
Mine's Greg.
yeah, but on the capital improvements, I'm trying to think who sits on it. But that'd be something good for you to, I'll let you know when Shannon advertises it.
Yes.
And you could look at those and see if
Let's
there's
see if I
anything
got
that
that
interests you.
email.
And we could,
I think it's in,
and then we interview,
like,
Yeah.
just in
you know,
general,
people, and
Twinsburg.
then we could counsel
Jones.
thoughts.
You know what I may have done?
Yeah, I think
I'm up
you-
for it.
May have
yeah,
signed
we could
up
get you
for all that
involved.
stuff with
Yeah,
my
I'd love to have you involved.
city
I'd love
hall.
to get in that.
Good.
What do you mean?
Remind me later, Matt, to
She have to give it up.
You got it. I like funny stories.
You guys done?
How are you?
We are.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we're
right,
done.
that's right.
How are you guys doing?
I know.
The last
I
game.
know.
Ended up losing. Yeah, what happened? I think they're
around.
You know.
Hello?
5
And right, she's everywhere.
Hello?
But you know, she goes to her beach house.
I'm doing it, you could do it.
successful. That's what we trust. Oh, yeah.
That was good. That was a good meeting. It was. We're good. How are you? Good, good.
You pronounce your last name Patel?
We did as well.
Oh, we're waiting.
No, we did
Yeah,
as well.
no, we just got out and
Yep.
I think that was the best session ever that we've had
Oh, good.
together.
Good. Well, then we're glad you
Some good
invited
stuff.
them. I'm glad I-
I'm glad you did. Thank you so much.
Now I have to announce everything that we just talked about.
Yeah,
In
so,
a summarized
Yeah.
format.
At least you have stuff to,
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I'm gonna be
yes.
jumping all over the place. I'm gonna be
I
like,
know.
That's true. Sometimes I do have to
yeah.
draw something out.
Yeah.
And I always sit here trying to figure out how I'm gonna say that.
Yeah,
And talk for an extended period.
and make it look like there was
Yeah.
a lot of
I was in sales though, so I
You could talk
do
to
it.
it,
Yeah.
Good.
I guess it's all how you define it.
Are you gonna
If
get the
that
minutes out
worked,
before
then I'm
December
doing good.
12th? If we have a meeting
I'll have it
December
out.
12th?
Yeah, I'll have it out.
Yeah,
You mean
just
of this? Yeah, I'll have it in the next couple days.
Okay.
I have to get it off my plate, or I will
know.
forget to do it entirely. Like
I know,
things
you're
need to
like
just get
me.
done immediately.
And then
Yeah.
you have this much to do, but by the time, if you waited a week, it's like this much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. The time is now 6:54 PM, and we have resumed from our subcommittee meetings. We call it a chair's point of privilege here. We now have audience members. So I would like to revisit item 3 on our agenda unless anybody has any objections to that.
No.
So hello to the folks in the audience. Welcome to the Jedi Committee meeting. We generally have audience participation right before we break into subcommittee. But since you all joined during the subcommittees, if you would like, do you have anything you would like to voice? We welcome you to the podium. No pressure.
Maybe just introduce yourself and.
Yeah.
But we will ask you to come to the podium because we record our meetings and we won't be able to hear you otherwise.
Right.
Or the recording won't pick you up.
Yes. My name is Charan Patel. I don't know if it's working. My name is Charan Patel. I live in Corbett Farms on Filkers Lane. and I've been living in Twinsburg for, I would say, I was just talking about since 2018. Originally, I moved to the apartments in Darrow Park. What's those apartments? I lived. So what? Oh, Deer Run. Thank you. Oh my God, I can't. Yeah, I originally moved in Deer Run, and then I was fortunate enough to get a house in Corbett Farms. And yeah, I just want to get involved in the community slowly. Just want to see what's going on and what's not. And Karen motivated me to, be part of this and just to hear out. And that's about it.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. We're happy to have you. I
Yes,
appreciate
we
you
are.
joining us today.
Thank you.
Now they're on.
Whoa.
We're recording, but probably nothing.
Alan Mitchell, Hauling Drive. Been in Twinsburg since 1995. I've seen significant changes in the community. One of the things that's been pretty static about Twinsburg is the diversity. The thing that has been inconsistent over the years, in my humblest opinion, is valuing the diversity. And I'm going to say that the value proposition being at a low position as opposed to a high position came from mostly a lack of knowledge of knowing and understanding other cultures relevant to practices, habits, traditions. Diwali, for instance, is celebrated here. You can hear the fireworks on the golf course. Well, my wife is South Indian, and she's ecstatic over that. The fact that their holiday of peace and unity and happiness is celebrated by this community. So, I'm just going to say that my hope and my wish, regardless of if I'm here 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or 2 years from now, is that this Joint Chief of Staff, or Jedi, that each of you take your job serious. On a personal note, and I'll get off of it as quickly as I get on it, I feel as though there's been situations where I've been looked at questionably because of the color of my skin. Now, whether that's true or not, or a misnomer on my part, I don't know. But I can only go by my instinct of being in the skin for 63 years. But let's revert back to the positive, and that's the fact that all of you here, all of you have an opportunity in front of you, and you should take advantage of it. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, in reference to your team, is you hear a whole bunch of things before you take part. Hearing and knowing is two different things. What do you think of Jedi? That's window dressing. It's a team of people who are part of the city's initiatives to make the city look good. I'm asking all of you to change that. I'm asking all of you to collaborate. I'm asking all of you to put your great minds together and change that perception, because my perception was changed last night. I sat back there and I didn't see window dressing. I saw several people who wanted to make a change in the community with the chief as far as relationships are concerned with the police staff and the community. So, and that's why I had to come here. Bill and I had breakfast, was it Saturday morning? And that's, we have a very open relationship. And he said, come and see. And seeing is believing. So take it, run with it, make something substantial out of it that you can get your teeth into, and then deliver your package. And thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Mr. Mitchell, that charge felt very much like a coach gearing his team up to get on the field. So thank you for that. I'm really, really pleased to hear that the time that you've spent with us has changed that perception. And so I would issue the charge to you. And I'll ask you that you share that. Share that with the people you interact with throughout Twinsburg. Let them know that our doors are open and we want to see them here too. Because our goal is for this room to be full. And not because we want everybody to see us, because we want our community just as invested as we are. So thank you to both of you for coming tonight. Anybody else? All right, well, we will pick it back up at item number 5, subcommittee reports. I'm going to go in the order of the breakout session. So Mr. Tyus, will you give us your report for Justice and Police Relations?
Yes. I'm always going first. But so we had a very robust discussion. Our chief of police was present with us today and able to give some input on a variety of things that we have been talking about over the last couple of meetings. One being our desire for a translator database to help those that may be, to help when they're having incidences where people don't speak the English language, and so being able to communicate policing to these individuals. And so the police chief provided policy 328, which is limited English proficiency services. This is a policy that is in effect currently with the Twinsburg Police Department, but also a work in progress. Certain things mentioned in the policy could change. People who hold certain positions, as mentioned in the policy, might change as well. But there is a policy. They also mentioned that Google Translate is also one of the, is a key service that could be used as well. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Google Translate, but you speak in, I guess that's the way he uses it, you speak in and it translates what you're saying, and you can have that person speak in and it allows the officers to understand what they're saying. I'm used to using it typing, so I rarely do the speaking in kind of thing. So Google Translate, we talked about coming up with a list of communities represented in Twinsburg for which we would need such a service. So we're going to work on that. We identified certain communities, but we're going to work on maybe creating a list so that we're a little bit more knowledgeable on that. We also discussed the Explorer program as far as a recruitment tool for our police department to diversify itself. And so there's a new person who's overrunning the Explorer program at the high school. And so they're looking forward to that person taking over and sort of running with that, with the hope that, that students will stay involved and then pursue becoming a police officer down the road. I believe the state of Ohio has an age limit as far as when you can become a police officer, 21?
Yeah, 21.
Yes. So, but you can stay in the Explorer program up until 20, so the idea of just trying to encourage more of our local citizens, especially our high schoolers, to learn more about this profession, and maybe that being a pipeline into our police department. Then we also discussed the open forum that we had mentioned a couple of sessions ago. We had a couple of sessions ago, we talked about doing an open forum with the community and our police department, members of our police department. And we had talked about doing it in January. And so we ran it by the police chief, since he was with us today, to get his thoughts on it. You know, and he provided some valuable tips in preparation. First of all, he said it wouldn't be a problem. He would be able to supply 4 to 5 officers or people in different positions, dispatch, detectives, things of that nature, who could respond to questions that our community may have. But the idea was to maybe hold it in this room, but to get an RSVP just in case we may need a larger facility and maybe hold it over at the school auditorium. Bill is going to look into January 16th, which is also MLK Day, as a day to have this event. If not, then we'll find another date, maybe even during February, Black History Month, as a day to hold it. But the idea of finding a way to get people to RSVP, and more importantly, to provide questions in advance that can be screened so that you don't have situations where a session can become too long, too stagnant, someone taking over, with a long question and things of that nature. So Bill's going to work with Shannon to find availability. And we thought maybe we could work with you as far as advertising, maybe getting a save the date out there between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then advertising it as far as the location and time and all of that after the new year. So, and I think that's about it.
Any questions for Jeff? All right. Now, I have been told that I should do a better job of observing Robert's Rules of Order. You guys know that is not my strong suit, but I will entertain a motion if somebody would like to make one to accept this subcommittee report. We can do it at the end of all 3. Bill, you're usually like the point person for keeping on these.
You're an attorney. You're in any way you want.
Thank you. I like to hear that. Then we're gonna just keep rolling. Karen, do you have anything for city employment diversity? I hate to put you on the spot, but your chair's not here tonight.
I'm not sure if everyone's aware that our HR person put in their letter of resignation on November 11th.
Is that health or?
Yeah. But since nobody else was here, I joined their committee,
Okay.
which was very, very well.
Very well.
Yeah, it was a vibrant meeting. So.
Excellent. Well, let's pivot on.
Yeah.
Jess, will you share the community outreach?
Yes.
Outreach notes with us?
So we actually talked about quite a few things. The first thing we started with was the police and fire event, which I am told I was not personally able to attend, but some of our friends here were able to. And I'm told it was very well attended, that the children loved the diversity stickers that were handed out. That there was more of a, we are here, we exist, not a lot of going in depth about what the Jedi community is about. So there is, I'm going to change the slides, maybe make a different slide pack so we can use those slides if the opportunity presents itself in a more formal setting. But I will also make some slides that are going to be more of a, what Jedi stands for, maybe just 4 that say what, the acronym means, that can flash on the screen so people can view those and just kind of process them in a large setting where there's so much going on. That the slides that were created were a little bit too information intense for the environment that they were given. Does everyone have any other opinions about that weren't in the committee that I was in? No?
I thought they were good.
Okay,
I
appreciate
thought
it.
people paused and they talked to us a little bit. They
Oh,
got their
good.
stickers, they got their candy, and, you know, we had a couple of questions.
Oh, good,
So
okay.
I thought they were well done.
I appreciate that, thank you so much.
We need to improve on the Twinsburg bags.
Bags.
Yeah, we were given a box of bags and tried to accomplish.
Oh, no.
We did not give people bags.
Did you give them out, or did
So
you?
we gave them out, but they were
Initially.
thirsty
Oh, no.
for everyone. They were,
And they get ripped.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, so.
I was there for the second shift, so I did not hand anyone a bag.
Yeah.
Although people
We
were
were
very
forewarned.
unhappy that we were not passing out bags at that point, so,
Aw.
Everybody wanted a bag.
yeah.
So definitely
like
a
stuff.
good idea, just better quality
Plastic
bag.
next year.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Environmental.
Were those things that were like just ordered, or were they like in a box?
They've been sitting in
Okay.
the basement for a while, I believe.
Yeah.
I think what we brought, we brought candy and we brought stickers.
Okay.
And the bags just happened to be there, so it was a nice bonus for
Mhm.
us, and then, well, not so much, but.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
snafu at every event, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, so we're definitely think that it is worth the Jedi Committee's time to do events like that and to continue to, you know, increase our communication with the community, which is what our community is about. We would like to have some sort of T-shirts or buttons, like we talked to Shannon with about before. So I will email her and see what we can do in that regard. Probably looking at buttons, I'm assuming, but anything just to showcase who is on the Jedi Committee when you're at an event, I think would be a really good choice.
Instead
Okay.
of buttons, you want like name tags, because you get magnetic name tags that you can put on anything.
That would be fine as well.
Just have your name and that you're on the Jedi Committee.
Yeah, anything to just, designate that people present at the table are from the Jedi Committee, I think would be ideal. And then after that, we also talked about the website that we've had discussions on where the QR code should link, things like that. And so the Together Twinsburg website has launched. And so therefore, we're very excited to be able to basically start building the Jedi portion, and we thought the QR link should connect to the Together Twinsburg site, since that is a more interactive community site than the basic webpage portion, and we can add more there, and it can be more robust, etc. Do you guys agree with that? The QR code should link? Anybody object?
Lines.
Okay.
Yes, because it's more robust and it's interactive, but I
Mhm.
think that we should make sure that if they're getting that QR code from Jedi, that the Jedi presence is enough on that landing page.
Yes.
So they're not like, well, I didn't talk to a Together Twinsburg person, right?
Yeah.
So as long as we're, being thoughtful about our presence on that site, I think it's a great idea. And then it also points them to other things in the community.
Yes, absolutely. So I will be talking to Mark to make sure that, to your point, we build up that site and make sure our presence is known before we start handing out anything with a QR link. So that's good. Okay, so we also talked about partnering with the library before, about partnering because they already do such great book displays on diversity, and to partnering with them, but a better idea was presented that maybe we could even get on their program schedule, so that we can actually host a kind of like what we did at the police and fire event, where we can meet the Jedi committee, we can talk a little about what we're doing. Maybe more people from the community would visit versus just at these meetings, because it would be hosted by the library, it would be put out on their program, so the marketing would be there. It would just basically connect Jedi with the community through the library. So that was, I thought, a better idea than just partnering with a book display or getting a sign out there. Would actually be, more involved.
It's a
All
great
right.
idea.
So we're going to be, I'll try to reach out to the program director there and to see what, how far in advance they do their schedules, and if we can get something, even like, that's something we can do during the winter. We don't have to wait for, summer months, and we can get that rolling pretty soon. So whenever they're doing their next calendar, I'll throw some dates out there and see what we can get out. They have some very large rooms that we can use there. So it just depends on, the availability of those rooms as well as when the calendar is available. Okay, and we also we had a guest with us. Mr. Patel was with us, who helped generate a lot of great ideas. So I was very happy with his presence. I hope more people in the community come and talk during our meetings, because I thought it was awesome. So we talked about how we revisited the International Food Festival, which we'd like to definitely do and connect not only the Indian community, but which is very large in Twinsburg, but other communities as well in their surrounding area that creates that diversity feel. We want to connect with another community that's already doing something like that, so we can see, what the first steps are and what do we should do going forward. So maybe we make sure we do it correctly. So that's something we'll be doing. And then the next thing we want to focus on is maybe, this I thought was a great idea, but that Mr. Patel had about maybe using Twinsburg's existing outside grounds, like say the parking lot of the community center, the park there, things like that, to host maybe Holi or Diwali festivals to show that we're really supporting the community, and then that could launch other communities to do the same. It's not a huge cost, it's not a huge anything for us, it's just allowing the land to be used for the festivals, and then helping, with, hey, we're doing it, and inviting everybody here to our facilities.
How would we do that in terms of permits? Is that an issue?
I'm sorry?
If we wanted to provide a parking lot and co-sponsor something with a community organization?
That would go through the building department for permitting, yes. We've got a church that's gonna be doing something, and they're going through that process now too. It's not really too cumbersome, so.
So really, we'd have to discuss, what event we'd like to hold, and then we can start the process towards getting the permission to do so.
That's great.
And that is a wrap.
That's a lot. Good stuff. All right, does anybody have any questions for Jess?
I don't have a question for Jess, I just have a question regarding the HR director. And if this isn't the right forum for the question, then please just tell me, but should we be concerned regarding the fact that we've had 2 within the last year?
I think we should put that perhaps under facilities.
Okay.
And close out our subcommittee reports for now. Any objections? All right. Thank you both, and Karen as well, for your subcommittee reports. I'm really excited to see.
I just wanted to put my input on.
Please join us at the mic, Mr. Patel. I'm sorry.
I know about the translation issue that was brought up in the council meeting. Was any other options or recommendation was on the table to help the policemen with the translation issue?
Oh, yeah. You wanna?
Well, so as I mentioned, Google Translate. We also have, there are also some resources for them as far as officer groups that are in play with other police departments. I think we do have one officer who helps.
There's a couple language banks that we can contact. We also have officers in the area that speak a variety of languages that the officers can contact to translate.
I just brought it up because I know there's a new device. It's like a pen, or just a pen drive pretty much. It's nothing bigger than something you can put in your pocket. If you just hold the button and speak, it translates automatically to what you want it to be. And when you speak, it will translate to the other person. And it's not something you ever give it to the passenger to be like type the phone.
Yeah.
It's just a small device. I know I've seen it so many times on websites. Amazon, I'm sure Amazon has it. And I know the cost of it is nothing more than $100 or so.
What's it called?
It's if I look it up, translation device. I mean, I don't know what it's portable. Give me a few minutes. I'll bring you an option. I'm sure I can find on Amazon. They're $100. I just don't know how reliable they are. Because I'm sure there's a version that's for the public use, there's a version for commercial use. So I don't know how reliable and long-term better, but I know the cost is not like $1,000 a device where a city's gonna have to look up into, you know, so it's $10,000, you know?
Right.
It's just $100 or so per unit.
Okay.
And if there's any particular language, I think if the police officers are facing, we can make a group of that people who knows that language, that police can, who are willing to volunteer to help policemen at the moment.
Right.
And police officers can call them up and say, hey, you know, I'm in a situation, do you have a minute, you can help us out? I mean, just volunteering. You know?
Right.
I'm sure if you just make a list of 5 people, let's say 5 Indians who speak the language, one person doesn't answer, second one I'm sure will, or that goes for other languages as well, which could be fast, free, and voluntary.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
But I know, but that device is very cheap and it's very helpful. It's just got to press a button and speak up and it'll translate by itself, and same goes with other. So I think it'll be very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. And, I would just like to say that is exactly why we want community members at these meetings, because look, you just made a connection. Chief Mason, who wrote it down, let the record reflect that he wrote it down, and there will be a lot of people searching Amazon for that device. So thank you for reading that as well. It's fantastic.
You know, I know initially that was the idea, was to potentially find individuals who could do it. You know, the potential concern that comes to the top of my head, and Chief, you can tell me if you think the same way, is the timing of it. That sometimes you may need it at 3, 4 in the morning or something like that, you know. And so being able to call someone at that time could be somewhat problematic, I guess you would say. So,
I mean, I look at it as a responsibility towards the community. You know, it's like, you know, if I get a call and if the city needs it, I'm sure only people will sign up who feel responsible for answering that call at that time, you know?
Right.
You know, because in the daytime, and that's if they go off and work, can't do it before.
right. Right.
You know, but I think it's responsible. If someone wants to do it, then I'm sure the line's going to contact.
Okay.
Mr. Patel, we'd love to have you join our next Justice and Policing Subcommittee meeting, and we can dig into that a little bit. I think it's, you know, it was the original intent for the original direction, and we'd love to talk about it more.
You're gonna take him from our community outreach?
Just like that.
that's
We recruited him
Did I
and,
not use the word coach?
and, right. And
She was
now
clear in her
he's taking
intent.
you to the, no, you're staying with us. I'm gonna have to put my foot down.
There you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
All right, anything else on the subcommittee reports before we move on? All right, so I am going to give a very brief full committee report. Jess took most of my thunder because I was going to talk about the fantastic turnout that we had at the police and fire open house. It was great. My high schoolers came over later, and they were all sad that they missed everything, right? So I was on the second shift with Karen, and the helicopter took off right after we got there, and there were, you know, kids with fire hoses putting out fires, and you could win a bike, and there were all these opportunities, but we had a very nice spot right by the bike sign up. So people had to come by us because they wanted to win the bike with the light up lights. And, you know, Larnie did a great job of going back and forth with me. We kept trying to get people to get stickers, and Karen did a great job. I mean,
Larnie was like hiding them.
yeah, we were kind of sticker dealers. But what we did get was a ton of interaction. We got a lot of people who just kind of talked and paused and hung out with us for a few minutes. So I think not only is it valuable for us, but we need to find a way to capitalize on that. We need to get those people in here. So I don't know what that next step is, but I think we need to be thinking about when we're tabling at events, when we're showing up for things, how do we turn that into action? Right? How do we say, hey, great sticker, good candy, I really want to know what you guys are about. So just something to put in our minds. I think the more we do it, the better the response will be. But I do think we need to start thinking about how we're capturing that information without being spammy. Right? I don't want to say give me your email address and your phone number and all of that, but I do, you know, we want to make sure that people know the doors are open literally.
Right.
So the other thing, we were also invited to table at a community day that ended up being, it was like a Saturday following And originally I was gonna be able to go, but we had a loss, so I ended up having to attend a funeral service that day, so I couldn't go, but we didn't have any backups. So I want us to all think about scheduling wise, the days that are good for us as a group, and then really dig into the city's calendar and start figuring out where we can show up, because we have all the basics. We've got a fantastic slideshow, we have stickers and candy, and that seems to be a formula for success. So I think we need to really talk to Shannon about what else is on the calendar that we can participate in. Let's see. I have a couple of other things that I want to raise in terms of the calendar and what we can do, but I will save that for new business. But what I will say is I thought that was a great opportunity for us to get out, to start to introduce ourselves, to get to hang out with one another, right? Because we sit up here and we talk, but we don't necessarily get that kind of time. And to really get to see the folks that we're here to serve. So great job for everybody in the planning and the execution. I thought it went really well. And I look forward to the next one. So that is my full committee report. It's really just a piggyback on Jason's. Any questions? Okay, moving on to unfinished business. Anybody? Something you want to raise, Mr.
Oh, I thought that was miscellaneous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
You're
said
right. Okay.
miscellaneous.
I didn't say miscellaneous. Okay.
I'm polite.
A lot of pressure over
I
there.
know.
On the same line item, it's just a 7.
right.
It's lateral. New business, I was going to, one of the things that we talked about was altering the subcommittee time, but I think we all ended up using most of the hour. So, I don't know that, I mean, I think we come back when we're done, but that hour seems to work unless somebody feels otherwise.
I think it worked well tonight.
It
Yeah,
did.
absolutely.
Determined.
To be determined. Under new business, Jeff had talked about trying to organize a community forum for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I think that is just really a fantastic day because it's a day of service, it's a day of action for most folks who celebrate it. And it would be a really great opportunity, not only from a publicity standpoint, you get, hopefully kids are out of school. I actually have not looked at the calendar, but I think the kids are out of
I
school,
think
right?
they usually are, yeah.
Yes.
It's a federal holiday, so we can get people here. But in the event that that day doesn't work out, we talked about doing it during Black History Month. But I think last year, we circulated the start of a diversity calendar. And we never really landed on it. But I think perhaps over the course of the next 1 or 2 meetings, we should go back and maybe start doing some of this by email, looking at what's on the calendar and identifying opportunities to host things, right? Like Holi and Diwali, those should be on our calendar, those should be on our radar. We should be doing things. We have a large enough community that celebrates these holidays and we need to be doing that. So Black History Month. So I think if we take time and we try to be fair, right? We can't say Jedi is going to show up and celebrate every single thing. But if we step back, look at our community and figure out where we can add the most value, I think we should go into the new year with that in mind.
Right.
So what I'm hearing is you're gonna partner with me. In terms of, okay, great. So what I will do then, I will recirculate the last iteration. Actually, I'll ask Shannon because I'm sure she has it. We had like 2 versions of the calendar circulating. So I'll ask her to recirculate those, and then hopefully between December and January, we can land on some events. And we'll check with the mayor and see how much money we have.
Yeah, Michael had sent out a great email about it too, right
Yes.
before, right before we did everybody did the new terms. And then so if we can look that email up too.
It's a great idea, yeah. Try to save Shannon a little bit of work. And then lastly, December's meeting, there is a conflict with our council members. They, I believe you will be interviewing someone to fill your seat, correct? So there were 3, and I knew I should have written this down. Shannon gave us 3 options. One is, Jess, are you finding the email?
I'm gonna find the
Thank
email and
you.
I'll read it off for you. Hold on one second.
I'm open too.
I think it was to skip the second meeting.
Second was-
There were multiple options,
Yeah, there were
Brad.
3. The second one.
All right. The
to
first,
get
yeah.
in the conference room.
The first is look at moving the meeting to another day. The second is have just a full committee meeting in a conference room. The third is cancel the December meeting. Those are our three options.
So I think we should, do we have a quorum?
Yeah, how many are on?
How many are
We
required?
have 7 on, you've only got 3 members here.
So we don't have a quorum, okay, well,
You need 4.
do I get to make an executive decision then?
You just call this a,
I thought we were all members.
Aren't we all members?
you might, I'll get another lawyer in the house.
Yeah.
I know
I'll
there's,
defer to the
how many
lawyer.
lawyers does it take, Matt?
How many we got? Yeah, right.
I thought I was a council rep, if this was a planning commission or a board of zoning
You'd
or
be an honorary
PRB,
member.
it doesn't matter if I'm here, it matters that the residents who appointed to the committee are here.
Yeah.
We have 7, we have 3 tonight. Officially, we don't have a quorum, but that doesn't mean we won't have minutes. We'll just say we didn't have a quorum. We're not taking any action on anything, we're not voting that I'm aware of, we haven't voted on anything. You haven't voted, I don't vote. So that's the definition in my mind. Hopefully you remember who's not. Matt, you got a.
Speedy research over here.
He's looking.
Yeah, I'll have to check what the composition is.
Well, I guess we could float it.
Can we make a preliminary decision?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I would take action, and then I can verify whether or not we had met our
Yeah.
quorum since we conduct business. Is that what you were gonna?
Yeah, exactly. Let's.
I thought I personally was on it,
If the majority
and that
of the
would
group
be.
wanted to do something, we just ask Shannon.
Right, it's not any
Yeah.
changes
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Fair enough. So, who's in favor of moving the day? Moving on quickly from that. Who's in favor of meeting in a conference room with just the community members?
I'm fine with that.
I'll make that.
I
Well,
do that especially-
I will tentatively make that motion.
especially if we're trying to put,
Martin Luther
a
King.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King panel together, we probably ought to touch base on that before we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that'd
think
be
we
good.
have a lot to do, and I'd hate to skip a meeting.
Yeah.
I think so. And then to be fair, does anybody want to cancel this meeting? Okay, just put it out there.
But the 3 council members here will be in the interviews.
Yeah. So I think what makes sense is to start the preliminary planning via email. And then we meet and try to shore up a few things, and, you know, you guys put somebody fantastic on the council while we're working, right? So, I think that'll work.
Madam Chair, did anyone, or who seconded my motion?
No one, because I completely kept talking while you made it, so
Because it
please.
seems like we're entering into discussion prior to having a second on the motion.
Thank you, Robert, for
Yeah,
your
that's-
rules of order.
Mr.
Robert rules.
All right,
If you don't have a quorum, it doesn't make a difference.
I personally believe that I'm on the committee.
We're all members.
I don't know that we're all members, but I will double check.
in which case,
We can get to the end no matter how we do it.
fair enough. So there's a motion,
Yeah, there's a motion on the floor.
second?
I'll second.
All right, move, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. I like gavels. All right, so we are going to talk to Shannon about getting a conference room here that we can meet in. And we will initiate the planning for the program via email.
Okay.
So hopefully our other committee members will be able to join us. And that is December 12th at 6 p.m. Okay. That is all I have for new business. Anybody? Anybody else? Okay. Moving on to miscellaneous.
Like I said, this might not be the forum for that question. I was just curious, you know, if that's something that we should be concerned with, the fact that this important position that plays a role in this committee has had 2 people leave within the last year. So I was just throwing that out.
Are we allowed to know why she put in her resignation, or?
That's a fantastic question. The person that I would ask that would be her, right? Because
Yeah,
she's-
exactly.
So I will say this. I think this may not be the forum to air out in detail, but perhaps we can get that to Karen to take back to the subcommittee. because I do think, to your point, we need to have a conversation about, okay.
Aaron, you just.
I'm
tell us
not,
what you
yeah,
said
I'm
on
prepared, we're prepared to answer that
Oh,
question.
then
I
I'll
mean,
be
it's not
quiet.
an issue. She came, Kelly came to my office probably about a week and a half ago. And she wasn't happy to resign. But the reason she resigned was she took a position with Metro Hospitals. And she's going to be the HR person there. And she's going to have a staff under her. And she really felt that, there was going to be a lot more of educational in her field there than here. And she felt that it was really important that she was going to better herself in her career, as well as there was a financial, plus there. And I tried to get that out of her. I asked her that several times. I says, "Is it money the reason you're leaving?" She says, "No, it's not." She says, "If it were, that'd be simpler, but it's not. I'm going for the educational component and being able to. She will have a staff under her, and it'll further her in her field." So it was with regret that she resigned. She didn't want to do that, but unfortunately she did. So, and I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
I guess I would echo what the mayor said, and I do want to just reiterate that I remember when I talked about it, it was a very difficult decision for her, but I think the mayor put well what was most persuasive for her, because I said to her, I was like, let's talk about this. It's always been exciting working with you, and what had led to this decision, and she basically just said to me, she's like, the opportunities to grow as an HR person in a 10,000 person, the Metro Health medical system, those are opportunities that she wanted to jump at. And, when this job materialized for her, it was something that wasn't about us. It wasn't about the city and the people she worked with. It was about, this was that opportunity that she couldn't say no to. And it reminded me a lot of Michael, to be perfectly frank with everyone. I feel like we've been the victim of having two great individuals that got great opportunities offered to them. And now, while I always believe we can learn a lot by debriefing after any situation like this, I also kind of try to take solace in the fact that we're heading the right direction, right? Some pretty impressive organizations are poaching, to use the word, are poaching our personnel.
Came back quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, it's a good one when you're in this conversation. But yeah, I know that council, mayor, myself, we're filling the holes right now. We're gonna get things done, but I hope we continue to hire people that are of the caliber that get poached, but this time they'll stick around a little bit longer. So I know it's kind of a weird thing to say in a public meeting.
Right.
Hope to hire people, but
Yeah.
I've enjoyed working with both of them. And I don't see why we won't be able to find somebody of equal caliber within the HR field. Thanks for letting me talk.
Thanks for talking. I appreciate you both.
Is this typically a position that has turnover?
It hadn't for some.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's not like it's not.
I would like to think, and this is unscientific right now, but I think just a lot of what's happened in the last couple of years, I've seen a lot of reshuffling of people in positions. And I would have to imagine that plays into this, in the post-COVID world, or the COVID world, if you will. But no, I would be silly to say that it wouldn't be rare to have two different HR directors in a year. That's different. But like I said, we're going to do our best. And I don't see why we wouldn't be able to keep recruiting top talent.
I've been around for 20 years now, and I think Michael was our third HR director, and Kelly was our fourth in 20 years, in a 20-year period. So,
Colette.
right, we had Colette, we had
a consultant, then we had Clay Moore.
Clay.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Clay,
Clay.
he was full-time as a consultant. He did.
No, he was full-time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He went part-time.
He went part-time when he was doing something else.
afterwards, yeah.
And then he left, and we brought Colette back for 3 or 4 years.
Mhm.
She retired. We got Michael,
Hired
we were
Michael.
excited about. Michael was
Right.
a
Michael was good.
fantastic individual.
He was awesome.
It was a breath of fresh air.
Yep,
Mhm.
and I thought Kelly was doing a fine job too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Bigger opportunities.
So, I know that, Kelly had a lot of things going on with the group, the employment diversity group. How soon can we expect that position to be filled? What's the hiring process like?
And as you're contemplating that question, how can we help? How can we use our networks to select Rockstar candidates?
I would say I don't know yet, but I know there is going to be a role. That makes sense. I mean, it's so fresh. I mean,
It's
Yeah.
fresh, plus, typically it's the HR director that starts the ball rolling on this. So now, it's the HR director that's missing. So we're kind of, somebody asked today, who's going to be taking her job over? And I said, he is, immediately.
Yeah.
For now, anyway.
Can I tell you, I got an email today from one of the department heads, and they said, I heard you've been promoted to HR director. First of all, congratulations. I know that was the greatest email that I've probably ever received, but all joking aside, I know there's a role. That was actually one of the things that I initially thought to myself when the mayor and I talked about it. I think we both kind of collectively said, we need to make sure that the ability to notice this opportunity is sent out to as many different places as we can. Because that's kind of been, I think, the success so far is that we have been able to do that and we've been able to get good candidates. So when I say I don't know at this point, but I do know there is a role, I think a lot of that is just the sting of how fresh it is right now in a sense. It's been a week and a half, whatever.
Today.
I lose track of the days here.
What kind of experience would it require person?
I think I'm sorry to keep taking up all the air in the room, but I think a lot of, what is important to us is understanding, having experience in the government space.
Okay.
Because that is really, it's working in HR for the government is very different than working in HR for just private enterprise. So that's definitely a premium, and then also there's a lot of unions that we work with. We have, Mr. Fury and I were talking about 7 to 8 collective bargaining agreements, and we have 3 OPVA units, 1 Teamsters unit, 2 AFSP units, 2 fire units. I mean, so just being able to balance collective bargaining and union employees with standard, if you will, HR issues. So definitely would put a premium on past government experience. And then I think another key when you're kind of thinking back into your own personal Rolodexes is the idea that at a city this size, we're not, believe me, we're not Akron. This is one person. They're going to wear all those different hats all day in just one day. They're going to be taking a call from a union rep. They're also going to be handling a non-union HR issue. And they also might be brought in to talk about long-range policy type planning from a personnel standpoint. So I think when you think about possible people, it's really that flexibility and that ability to, not just get stuck doing one thing, because you're never going to do that. I mean, it's the most exciting job you'll have.
Is it a one-man army?
Yeah, it's one person. Yeah.
And if I may ask, I don't know if that's I'm allowed to ask or not, or you want to answer the salary range or anything that,
Published, I think it's 90 to 120.
So you're right.
Yeah, 90 or 95 to 120.
Right.
Okay, just a range, I think that helps.
It's published in our salary ordinance, it's not a confidential number.
Yeah, Councilman Fear brings up a good point. If people are interested, or anybody that's listening, privacy and those types of matters are not really available for public employees, so they have to be comfortable with ordinances being presented that show the bumpers of what, their
I'm sure the
salary.
person who's experienced knows that already.
That's the hope, right? Yeah. None of that
I
would
think
be.
they were already comfortable.
And answer your questions?
Yeah.
It does for me,
At
for
this
sure.
point? Okay.
Anybody else?
But I do think December, with the December meeting, I hope that at a minimum, Shannon will be able to bring back, or myself will bring back some information for you all to consider, about the next steps that we have here to fill this role. And what Jedi can do to be a part of that.
Right,
Fantastic.
right.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Sam. Any other miscellaneous business? Okay. Just a quick reminder, our next full committee meeting, Monday, December 12th at 6 p.m. We're going to ask Shannon to put us in a conference room, and our council members will not be with us, but that's okay. We'll be talking via email. So keep it on your inboxes. Unless there's anything else for the good of the order. 7:45, you're adjourned.
All right.